headed for a little bit of a walk. Come on, Skyler. Let's go. What's so good about Good Friday? We know that Jesus was spit on, beaten, mocked, was put on the cross, and why do we call it Good Friday? This day for Christians is celebrated, remembered for what Jesus did for us on the cross. But we don't see it anywhere biblically. There isn't a Good Friday that we can find in Scripture. Actually, the only time that we're told by Christ to remember what he was going to do was the Last Supper. And we know in 1 Corinthians that we're supposed to take the elements, the bread and the cup, and do these things to remember what he did for us on the cross. When the church celebrates something as holy, as some traditions would call it Holy Friday, then the church would attach it to the word good. And that's where in some traditions, it's gone from Holy Friday to Good Friday. In Germany, they call it Mourn Friday or Grieve Friday, which feels like exactly what we should call it. When we think about what Jesus did for us on the cross, we should be in a reflection, in a state of mourning, of grieving, because we were the ones that put him up on the cross. So we know that the word has changed from culture and country, from centuries and generations. But for those of us in the western part of the world that call it Good Friday, the only reason we can do that is because we know the end of the story, because Sunday's coming. We know that our sin put him there, but Sunday's coming. We know that if we would have been there 2,000 years ago, we would have been the ones shouting, crucify him, but Sunday's coming. And I don't even want to call it Good Friday, but I know that Sunday's coming, and Sunday is going to be so good. So I'm here in the Twin Cities at a dog park with Skylar. There she is. And you really see that in these woods, everything has just been sitting dead for months, just waiting for the spring to come. And this is so much of what I feel like Good Friday is about. It's his death, it's our sin, it's darkness, it's hurt, it's barren. It seems that all hope is lost. And I'm sure that's the way it must have felt for those first disciples. But as you look a little bit closer here in the woods, you'll find something really significant, and it's what spring is all about. We see that new beginnings have started. We see that even in the midst of mud, that there still is the opportunity for life. And in the same way where dead things turn into new things during the spring, Jesus' death turns into a resurrection so that all of us, our sin can be eliminated and we can have life in him. If you want to know more about this Jesus, about his sacrifice, about his resurrection on Resurrection Sunday, I'd love to talk to you. Go ahead and message me. But everyone, don't forget, even though it's Friday, Sunday's coming.